Hello everybody, it's Ludders here from Sons Gaming. I don't know if you've noticed, but there has been a little bit of a DLC come out for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. The first of the map packs is here. It's called Revolution, and it features let me see, I think it's 4 new maps, and these are, we've got Downhill, Mirage, Hydro, and Grind. I'm just going to do a quick run through of each map for you to see. Just give you my thoughts and just see how we go. Right, I did some matches earlier with a few bots in just to get a feel for the maps, and I've done a few online gameplays as well. I've drawn some conclusions. I don't know if you'll agree. You probably won't agree, but yeah, I mean, it's just my opinion. Yeah, this is the first map I'm going to do. This is Downhill. It's basically a big-ass ski resort lodge thing. It's got a few interesting features. It's one of out of the 4 maps. This is probably my favourite so far. I haven't actually played a competitive game on this yet. I've just done a bit of a run round with some bots, and yeah, it seems quite good. Now you've got some avenues here. It's kind of it's quite an obvious map in the way it's split up. You've basically got a route down the right, a route down the left through that building there, and a route through the middle. It's actually quite a good map for, I think, domination or capture the flag or one of these objective-based games where you've got to protect your area and that kind of job. Because if you're this side, you can see you've got your building here, which has got a nice little sniper point up there. And there's there's several routes up to it, which I suppose is a disadvantage, but there's also several places to knock around and hide about, and you've got plenty of places to move around to. And the same goes for the other side as well, where you've got a nice little overlooky bit there. It looks out of the middle. There's this bit at the back here. You can sit a guy in there and just basically knock around and protecting your flag or your domination base or whatever. And then the B flag is here, as you can see. That's the B flag there. B flag. And that's really open. And there's loads of kind of ways to get kind of an overview of that. That window there has it. There's this track here, that window there, that track there. And then there's just this little run round behind here, which is, I think, a really nice feature because you can just sit here, mind your own business. Oh, someone's capping B. Not anymore. Anyway, yeah, and there's also on this side, if you happen to be on this side of the map, there's also a nice little window here, which has a very good look out on B. So B is going to be a real challenge to cap, and that I think is a good thing. I don't like maps where B is too easy to get. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be one of my favourite maps to play on. It's got some nice little kind of sneaky bits. You've got a nice little walkway around here, which you might not necessarily kind of know about. You get a nice sweep going on around there. One of the interesting features, they've got these cable cars which are constantly moving through the map. If you happen to be stood here and one comes up behind you, it'll kill you. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That's a bit stupid. Yeah, so that's Downhill. Right, so what I look for from a map pack is to give you something a bit different, something a little bit different to what you've already got. And on kind of Call of Duty so far, I think all the maps, well, the vast majority of the maps are very, very kind of tight, confined, very kind of advantageous if you're running something like a close combat weapon like an SMG or a shotgun or something like that. There's very few opportunities for sniping and camping. I mean, I know a lot of people dislike that kind of thing, but it's nice to change it up sometimes. Play a different style. So this is Mirage. This map is kind of weird. It looks like it's obviously a desert map, as you can see from the vast amount of desert around the place. But it looks like they've had a major issue with some sand, because everything is covered in sand. So I'm guessing they've had some sort of sandstorm or some shit like that. That's what it looks like anyway. And it's basically a bit of a wreck. But it's quite a nice map, due to the fact that it is quite large actually. I mean, if I zoom out here, you can just see it's quite a big map. I mean, you've got some. The obvious main focal point is the big building in the middle, which I'm a little bit disappointed about actually, because I'll show you why. You see, there's an entrance in here, and then you've got this middle room here, and then there's nothing over here. I mean, it's like, what the hell's going on? This building is huge. If you look out here, and you can see that room there probably takes up about half of that building. So what the hell's this other half of the building for? I mean, you might as well have another few rooms, another few entrances, and also, what I'd love to see, which I don't think we will do ever in a game of Call of Duty, because, I don't know, they just don't seem to do it, but I would love to see the second and third floor in this building be part of the game, part of the map, because that would just open up some serious opportunities for just a different style of gameplay. I mean, there's a lot of scope on this map for a better map, I think. But it's still a good map. It's still a great map. There's some really kind of good places to knock about. Up here is quite a nice little spot, and there's also on the opposite side of the map, which there always has to be, of course, which is up here, which is really good actually, because there's literally one point of entrance. You get in there, and you can get in there if you hop up there. But obviously, if you look out there, it's not a very good spot to do. Can't control the camera. There's a nice little spot down here, which is quite a nice little runway. There's a little bus in the bus. I suspect we'll see quite a few people knocking around in this bus, especially on the objective-based games, because in Demolition the bomb is literally right there. So the bus is a really good place to knock about. There's some like these kind of pointless bits here where you're not really going to get a lot of action. You can hop up on this roof if you so feel like it, but it's pretty exposed. It seems quite good in the way that, I mean, you can hop over that wall there. It's not as restrictive as some maps are, and you can trundle your way up there and get on there. You can always dive off this if you really want to. I'm sure some people will be dolphin diving off that. Why the hell not? But like I say, I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed by this map, because I think it could have been a lot better if they just opened it out just a touch more. I mean, there's all this space up here. Look at this. There's these balconies. I mean, how good would they be to just knock about on? And I just feel it's a little bit restrictive. They could have branched out a bit and made it a bit more exciting. But it's pretty bog standard. I mean, it'll be a good map, and it'll probably be fun to play. Yeah, so that's Mirage. Right, this is the third map that I'm showing you, and this map is called Grind. It's basically a great big skate park, which looks pretty awesome, to be fair. Looks like a hell of a lot of fun. It's quite a small map. I mean, it doesn't look like it from up here, but it is. It's really tight. There's not a lot of places where you can just kind of sit back and try and kind of dominate and get a bit of map control. It's really tough because there's so many ways around it. I mean, you just look, there's just like random tunnels everywhere. The building inside the building, there's this room here which has 1, 2, 3, 4 points of entry, and that window up here is a fucking bitch. I played a couple of games of Demolition even on this map, and it's fun, to be honest. It's a really fun map to play. It's not my favourite, like I said. Downhill is my favourite, just because it suits my game style a lot more than this map does, and it should be a lot of fun to play for the game types I like to play. But this is a fun map to play as well. It's probably my second favourite. It's right up there with Downhill, and it's really kind of, I think it's quite a clever little map. And it'll play into the hands of players who love to play with the shotguns and the SMGs. But to be fair, when I was playing a game of Demolition, there were a couple of sniper points which some guy was exploiting. There's one here which he's got control of that kind of approach road there, and it's quite tough to get a shot at him from up here. And then on this side, there is, I mean, if you're coming from this way, you're pretty much screwed, because they've got on this side. That's one of the Demolition sites. On this side, you can see that they've got this spot here, and it literally controls that entire avenue. You cannot move through there if there's someone sat up here, because they just pick you off. I mean, you can get around here. You might. I mean, you can stop people, because people come back in the back of here. You can stop them from here, just by knocking around here. You can cut off that avenue there. But if someone's sat up here, you cannot move unless you can kill them. But if you're sat down here, you're always going to be kind of, the odds are against you to win that battle if you're coming around this corner trying to fight a guy up there, especially if he knows you're there. But yeah, it's a fun little map, and it's got some interesting aspects to it, and it's definitely going to be one of the more popular ones. I suspect that this will probably in the map vote. I think this will probably win quite a lot of the time, because it is a good map, and it does suit most of the players that like to play Call of Duty. It's got a bit of everything. It's quite a good map. Got a bit of everything, and I think a lot of people will enjoy this map, and that means that it'll be very popular. I think they've done a good job with this map. It's very hard to do badly on it. However, whatever your play style, it caters to all, I think, in equal fashion. I think the only area which is really open is this back area, this back spawn here, which is probably going to be a bit vulnerable to spawn camping, because the distance between here and this building here is a lot bigger than on the other side. If you look over here, the distance between here and that building there is much shorter, and there's less cover on this side, but that also works in their favour, because on this side you can just literally knock around down any one of these corners, and you could literally just sit behind here, pop out that side, bang 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 bang, pop out this side, bang 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 bang, and you could just literally keep their entire team pinned back down, pinned back here if you're good enough. So yeah, that's probably one of the downsides to this spawn here. Definitely vulnerable to spawn camping, but obviously I think both sides are. It's a little bit like Hijacked in that respect, but it's bigger than Hijacked, which is a relief, because that is a one tiny map. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums up Grind. Like I say, probably my second favourite out of the maps that they've released, out of the 4 they've done. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's a good map. Should be fun to play on. Right, this is the final map I'm going to bring you. This map is called Hydro. It's basically a big ass dam. Looks like a hydroelectric plant. Yeah, this is probably my least favourite of the 3 map. Sorry, excuse me. My least favourite of the 4 maps. Excuse me. I think it's a bit basic, to be honest. It's pretty poor in my opinion. Basically, there is 2 sides. You got your left side, you got your right side, and they are exactly the same. There is no difference at all. It's basically a mirror image. So in that respect, it's very kind of boring. It doesn't offer much kind of variation throughout the game. You play it the same way each time. There's there's a sniper spot here, ish, sort of. I mean, it's not great. You've got very limited field of vision, really. Anyone coming over that hill, anyone stupid enough to come over that hill, probably deserves to die anyway. And it's not exactly that well protected. You've only got a roof on you, so grenades and stuff, just pop them right in there. And there's exactly the same thing on this side. Again, I mean, you'll get people up there, but yeah, it's not a great idea. I think mainly they'll be used in objective-based games, because on Domination B is where that van is. Well, just there. There's also a hard point up there on a hard point mode, so you're gonna have people there. But I mean, you can't even see the other sniper's point from inside the sniper point, so it's like you can't even counter snipe from the other point. It seems a bit silly to me. Probably the only redeeming factor to it is this underground bit, which is it's quite a nice little way to get around. The only issue is, like I say, it's just exactly the same on both sides. It's just why? Why would you do that? Why would you make the terrain exactly the same on both sides of the map? It just makes it a little bit boring. Then you've got these. There's just one there. I don't actually know what the hell that is. Well, there's a ladder, I suppose. I don't know why you'd ever use that, to be honest. But it seems to me like they've done this map just... Well, it looks like an afterthought, really. It looks very easy. Very easy map to produce. There isn't one interesting factor. Every so often this floods. So at the moment there's what, I don't know, 6 inches of water running through here, which I think is quite a nice feature, to be fair. Water running through, that's interesting, that's amusing. But yeah, some red lights flash, and then there's a bloke speaking in Chinese or whatever it is, Japanese, and then these gates flood and anyone in here just dies. That's it. I mean, if it was me, I would have had it so that the flow pushes you out over the edge, because that is more dramatic, it's more realistic, it's just a little bit more interesting. But if you just stood in the water, anywhere in the water, and it comes off, you're dead, which is a bit crap, to be honest. I think it should just push you out. Just push. I mean, at least gives you a chance to save yourself, you know? Or you could get yourself pinned here. It just adds another little kind of here. It just adds another little kind of aspect to the game. Yeah, so I'm quite disappointed by this map. But I suppose, I mean, if 3 out of 4 are very good. So it's just this one, I think, lets it down. I know some of you'll disagree, and you'll say it's a great map, and hey, that's fine. This is just my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to stop bashing this map now and just show you some features. Right, so you've got, on the right-hand side, there is, as we look, this little tunnel section here, which is quite a neat way to get through. Literally all you've got to worry about is people coming through there, because there's obviously, so if you're running this way and you just want to get over there, you've got to just check your left. Check left before you cross. And then you've got to worry about people coming in front of you. Now, I mean, probably you could sit here and dominate that area quite easily without actually having to lose anything, because it's quite difficult to get grenades and things in here because of all this stuff on the roof. You can't lob it up, you have to try and get it in a low trajectory, which means you need to be a lot closer. So it makes it quite tough to kind of grenade people out of this area, which I found earlier in a game of Hardpoint. It was quite tough, because at the Hardpoint I think there's one in each of these generator rooms. So yeah, it's just to bear in mind there. It's quite tough to, if there are people camped out in this room, it's tough to get them out of here. Best thing to do is try and sweep around the back. But these rooms here are quite good to defend, because there's literally 2 points of entrance. You've got one there and one there. Let's see, you've just got this just a general spawn area. I don't think it's going to be that vulnerable to spawn camping, because there are quite a few ways out. You've got that in that way and that way. You've got instant cover here behind this wall. Also, there's a little kind of hidey hole way out there, and then you can get out through that bottom bit there. I don't know if these flood. I would assume they would, but I don't know for definite, because I didn't experience that in the game that I played. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be vulnerable to spawn camping, which is a good thing, because that is a pain in the ass. And it's so annoying. But then again, good spawn campers can spawn camp you anyway. So yeah, something to watch out for. And then you've got these buildings here, which pretty much are just who didn't break the glass? I can't get through the glass. Anyway, yeah. So there's just these buildings here which give you an overview of that area there. There's the exact same building on the other side. So that's that. Oh god, I'm stuck. Another little access route is up here, which is quite handy if because the flag is here on domination, B flag, and also hardpoint. There's a hardpoint up here, so you can just sneak out here and capture the hardpoint. I did that. I got out and got a couple of kills out there. Probably another area you might find people knocking around in is back here. It's quite exposed, but you've got good cover behind this pipe, and you can kind of dominate your area. So you're not going to get someone running up behind you, which is always a bonus. But yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to find stuff to say about this map, because it is pretty basic. It almost seems like an afterthought, to be honest. I mean, the best thing about it is the scenery. It's pretty impressive scenery. But that's all I can say, really, because apart from that, it's pretty basic. So yeah, that's Hydro. One thing I would say is if they'd opened up this area here and that area there, this map would be so much better. If you could be sat over that side there, sniping at someone on that side there, that'd be so much better. It would just add a whole new element to this map. But again, it'd probably be too big. Although I don't actually. I mean, I'm in the big map camp. I love the bigger the better. I don't care if I have to run all day. I'll quite happily run all day to one objective. But anyway, yeah. So it's probably the only map that I'm a bit disappointed with in the map pack. But that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Yeah. So this is Hydro. The only other thing to point out in this new DLC is something which has never been done before in a Call of Duty DLC, which is a new gun, which is pretty neat. I was quite surprised. I didn't realise it was in here until I unlocked I actually picked up someone else's gun, and I got a player card award thingy-majiggy for using it. And I was like, what the hell's that? So I went searching. I was like, oh, Peacekeeper, what the hell's that? I don't recognise that name. So I went searching. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen that before. Must have come with the DLC. So yeah, that's pretty neat to get a new gun with a DLC. I hope they carry that through for the rest of them. I would have liked to have seen more than one new weapon, because it's a bit frustrating that you get one new weapon and it's an SMG where we've already got fuckloads of the buggers. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good gun. I used it for a bit. It's alright. I'd say it's more to the assault rifle end of the spectrum. But I'm sure people adapt it to their style with the whatchamacallits, the attachments. Yeah, and it's got all the usual attachments for it, as you can see there. And yeah, it's pretty damn good. I'm quite pleased that they've introduced that in there. It's just adds another element to the DLC. And the DLC is all about trying to get people to play the game longer than they normally would. And any way of just making the game a bit different, changing it up, is going to do that. So yeah, I'm very happy with the DLC on the whole. There's just the one map that I'm a little bit let down with, but I might change my opinion after I've played a few games on it. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps if you're on the fence or whether you're going to get the DLC. I hope it helps you with your decision. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, leave a like and sub the channel if you enjoyed this video, and check out some of our other videos. There's quite a few on there now. So yeah, peace. Catch you later.